want to be and you want to ask questions, uh, but keep the questions respectable and responsible, yeah, and kind. No Windex for the comments, yeah. Also, there is no cussing or swearing during a featured show, so keep that in mind as well. If you're just coming in, please make sure you favorite myself and you favorite my special guest today. If you're new here and you're coming into the platform, a featured show means that the app, the Meet Group, has decided that this content is going to be featured across all of the apps for the next hour. Okay. So if you are here and you're like, oh, okay, sit down, take a minute and relax. We get started every time with something called animal trivia. Okay. Now, it is the night of the dogs. Both of my special guests, Papa Bear and Mr. Misunderstood, that's a mouthful, okay, is our special guest, but they both have dogs today. So instead of doing cat trivia, we are going to do dog trivia today. And my name is Kitty in Hood because Rob in Hood did win me at an auction. So if you haven't favorited Robin Hood, make sure you hit him with a favorite. He was the winner of my auction. And so I tended, somehow I was the winner of his auction though, and now he's Kitty's boothing. So there's that. As well as Estrelita and Reddy. I've got a lot of boothings running around the app right now. Okay. And I'm perfectly happy to have a whole boothing troop. I'm waiting for all of their names to change to take a screenshot because I'm wild. All right. So, Jay, thank you, Captain Zoo. All right. We're going to get started here with some questions. All right. And I want you to be my boothing as well, Emoji J. Thank you, Captain Zoo. Captain Zoo is also a featured show host here on the app as well. So make sure you hit him with a favorite. Go find out how you can be on his show. It's a game show where you just play games, and it's so much fun, okay? So much fun. Thank you, Fairy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Captain. All right, let's get started and see what you think. How many breeds of dogs are there worldwide? Okay. Is it 1,600? Is it 400? Is it 800 or is it 200? How many breeds of dog are there worldwide? What do you think the magic number is? I see 800. That isn't correct. 200? No, that's not correct. 1,600? Nope. That leaves what? 400. Yes, that's right. According to the World Canine Federation, there are approximately 400 recognized breeds of dogs worldwide. Thank you, John. Thank you, Kitty's Boothing. Thank you, Nene. Okay, there is some contention amongst them, however, as to the exact number of dog breeds, as various kennel clubs recognize different breeds, but other ones won't, okay? In addition, all pure breeds, quote unquote, are in reality derived from mixed breeds, okay? Complicating the issue. So there's that, okay? What is a dog known for its bluish black tongue? What dog is known for having a bluish black tongue? Is it a Chow Chow? Is it an Afghan hound? Is it an American bulldog? Or is it a Lopso Opso? I see a lot of you saying it's a Chow Chow, and you are correct, yeah. Sorry, I needed to get some water. One of the oldest breeds of dogs are the Chow Chows, and they are known for their bluish black tongues and their gums. Yeah. They aren't born with this coloration, though. However, at birth, Chow Chow's tongue and gums will be pink. Yeah. And Chow Chows are originally from China. Yes, that's right, Storm Chaser. And their name literally means, translated into the words puffy lion dog. Puffy lion dog. I've been wanting to get a puffy lion dog. I used to have a chow chow. Some of y'all don't know that. I had a chow chow. His name was Rocky. There's another top badge on the app here who's got a dog named Rocky. And if you know who it is, put it in the comments and I will get you a rose later for some funness. All right. What is the largest breed of dog? Is it a Great Dane? Is it an English Mastiff? Is it a St. Bernard? Or is it an Irish Wolfhound? It is not your pet rock emoji, Jay, but good guess. I see English Mastiff. Let's see if this is correct. Ooh, no, it's not. I see Great Dane. Is this correct? Ooh, it is not. I see Irish Wolfhound. Is that correct? Ooh, it is. Standing at an average height of approximately 34 inches from the withers, that means the butt, or shoulder blade. The Irish Wolfhound is generally considered to be the world's tallest or largest dog. According to legend, Irish Wolfhounds were guardians and companions of ancient Irish kings and were valued by Celtic chieftains as dogs of war. According to some sources, they were, as the name implies, originally bred to hunt wolves. In spite of their impressive height, the average weight for an Irish Wolfhound is about 120 pounds. The English Mastiff, though, is generally considered the world's heaviest dog. In 1999, an English Mastiff named Kel weighed in at a whopping 286 pounds. For you in Europe, that's 130 kilograms. According to Kel's owner, the food bill came up to 1,200 pounds per week. So put your head around that. These are not for the weak of heart. What is the fastest breed of dog? Welcome into Legit. Hello, welcome in everybody. I see you. What is the fastest breed of dog? Is it the Swedish Valhund? Is it the German Spitz? Is it the Harrier? Or is it the Greyhound? I see a lot of you. Greyhound is correct. Reaching up to speeds of 45 miles per hour. Yes, the Greyhound is the fastest breed of dog. In fact, the only land animal faster than the Greyhound is the cheetah. I mean, I don't want to brag because my name is Kitty Commander, but okay. But not surprisingly, though, Greyhounds are bred primarily to be race dogs for racing. Okay, so that's what's up. All right. What is the most popular dog in the United States? What is the most popular dog? Is it the Beagle? Is it the Labrador Retriever? Is it the German Shepherd? Or is it the Bulldog? Is it the French Bulldog? I see Labrador. Is this correct? No, it's not. I see German Shepherd. Is this correct? No, it's not. I see French Bulldog, and is that correct? Yes, it is. So here's the thing. Americans love their Labrador Retrievers. They do. But in the recent years, and by recent, I mean very recent, the French Bulldog has overtaken Americans' hearts and become the number 1 most loved and adopted dog breed in the United States. What breed of dog originated in Germany by a tax collector who needed a guard dog for protection? I can imagine if Beastmaster was my tax collector and I was like, listen, I'm just going to hire this dog to come get him right here or to protect him. Yeah. Maybe he needs a little muscle. Okay. Is this the original dog mafia? That's what I'm trying to find out. Okay, but beside that, okay, beside it, is it the Rottweiler? Is it the Doberman? Is it the Great Dane? Or is it the Pit Bull? What dog was originated in Germany by tigers? So I saw some people say Doberman. Is that right, Kitty? You are right. The Doberman, or the Doberman Pinscher, if you will, okay, was originated in Germany around 1890 by Louis Doberman. Yeah, the Doberman is named after the actual tax collector. Mm-hmm. Who needed a guard dog for protection, hoping to develop a dog breed with maximum strength, loyalty, intelligence, and fierceness. Doberman is believed to have mixed a number of breeds, including the German Shepherd, the Great Dane, the Greyhound, the Pinscher, and Rottweiler. Today, Dobermans are commonly used as guard dogs and police dogs. All right, if you're just coming into Meow Me, welcome in. We only got one more question before my first special guest, Papa Smurf, is here tonight as my first special guest is in the box. If he's ready, please go ahead and request the box so we know that you're set. What TV series Papa Bear sings? Yeah, Papa. Did I call you Papa Smurf? I'm dead. Sorry, Papa Bear sings. I don't know why I called you. I dead. My bad. Wow. I'm thinking of la 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 la. Hi, Fred. Nene, right? Uh, what TV series had a dog named Canine who was also a robot? Was it Star Trek? Was it Battlestar Galactica? Was it Wonder Woman, or was it Doctor Who? What TV series had a dog named Canine who was also a robot? Storm Chaser says, Too Legit says, Doctor Who, and you are correct. K9 is the name of several robotic dogs in the long-running British science fiction television series Doctor Who. Although not originally intended to be a reoccurring character on the series, K9 was kept in the show following his first appearance because he was popular with the younger audiences. K9 has also been a central character in 3 of the series' television spin-offs, including K9 and Company and K9 in 2009 and 2010. So there you have it. That's our animal trivia for the week. I hope you enjoyed learning about dogs tonight. Okay, now it's time for Papa Bear Sings, my first special guest. I'm going to welcome him in. Thank you all. I did. I'm sorry. I don't know.
It's all good. It was funny. I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden it's like, she said, "What?
What is she talking about? She's lost her mind."
Am I on the right side?
Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect.
No,
nope, now you're on the wrong side. You're perfect right there.
Come on, girl, come on over here a little bit.
Yeah, so you think you got Sammy, Papa Bear, Papa Smurf. Still silly. But Papa Bear, who do you have there? And tell me like how you got them.
This is Sammy, and it's funny because up until I'm sitting here watching most of the the trivia and all that, and she's sitting here like this, and all of a sudden, like 2 minutes ago, she goes, "Nope, we're gonna go turn around so our head is way over there." I'm like, "No, get over it." Anyway, so how I got her, I had a previous dog who had passed. She had lymphoma, and put her to sleep, and I was pretty broke after that because the expenses of dealing with it, and then the burial costs. And but my previous dog had been my service dog, and I was like, I need to get me another dog, so I just do better with dogs, having dogs in my life. And so one day I'm driving home, and my GPS says it's about 45, 50 minutes to get home. It was a 15 or 20 minute drive. I'm like, I'm not sitting in my car for 3 hours, for 3 times the amount of time just to sit in traffic. Oh wait, the Humane Society is right over there, and I've been checking out dogs, and I'll just stop by and see what they have. And that's when I saw Sammy, and I thought she was great because I don't like dogs that bark, and she was silent. I'm walking her in and walking her out. She's going past all these other dogs, and she's just like, I don't care. And so I put down the deposit, not knowing how I was going to pay for it, because it was going to be like close to $500 with adoption fee and taxes and admin fee.
Wow.
And she is a mix of hound and we don't know. Maybe pit, maybe yellow lab, maybe boxer, maybe ridgeback. She's a hound base. We'll just start with that. And so I reached out to a bunch of friends and family and said, I found a dog I really want to get and I could use your help. And I got enough together to pay for all those fees. And I show up the next day with my son, who wasn't feeling well, but he was kind enough to come with me and give me his second opinion.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and he's like, no, Dad, she's bigger than I expected you to be getting because my last dog was only like 35 pounds. But she seems cool. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get her. I'll run you home though, because I know you're not feeling well. And then I'll come back to do the adoption. So I go up to the desk and I'm like, okay, I want to adopt her, but my son's sick. So I'm going to take him home and I'll come back. And they're like, oh, no, take your son home and you take care of him. Come back tomorrow and get her, which is cool because I don't normally do a 48-hour hold. It's 24 hours. You got to pick up by that time. Thank you all. And then I was like, cool, I'll come back the next day, which also happened to be our annual church picnic. So I was going to have to basically adopt her on Saturday, crate her for half of Sunday during the day. For her first day at my house, I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I was able to get her after the picnic. And I get up there and they said, oh, you remember that she'd been adopted like a month ago, but they brought her back? I said, yeah. Well, the previous owners loved her a lot and really wish I could have kept her, but their cat wouldn't have it. So they decided to forward the adoption fee.
What
And,
luck.
and I'm like, wow. And I still had to pay like the admin fee and taxes, but that $400+ was covered. And I'm like, at this point, I'm in tears. I'm like, you don't know what a big deal that is for me. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, here's this extra large crate, brand new. Well, only used like a couple times. You get to have this too. They bought that for her. And I was like, oh my God. It's like she was meant to be. And she, I thought maybe I could train her to be, my second service dog. And it turns out she's more in need of a service human than I am in need of a service dog. She's got a fair amount of issues emotionally, but she gets me out and take walks, and so she supports me that way, and I support her however I can.
I
So
really
that's how I
like
got
that.
her.
That's such a beautiful story. Now, did you keep her name as Sammy or did you
Yeah,
change it?
nope, it was Sammie. My first dog came and her name was Spice. She was a black, like a little mix of a black lab and some sort of terrier. She will be 8 in August. And we looked at her and went, she's not a Spice. That's no. If anything, she's black, so she could be Pepper. But we named her Ruth because she was my service animal, and that Ruth means companion, Bible story. And so Ruth was my first dog. And then when she passed, my son, with his dark humor, said, we had her euthanized because of the lymphoma. And he goes, so Dad, does this mean we had her Ruthanized?
Oh my God.
And then I burst into laughter. I'm like, yeah, and now we're ruthless. But
Oh, no. What?
we were dealing
Little
with our
dark
grief
humor. Yeah.
in a very dark humor way.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. And how long, okay, Papa Bear, how long have you had Sammy now?
It'll be 6 years this September.
6 years in September. And what, like, did you get her when she was fairly small, like as a puppy? Then how
She's
old is
2.
she altogether?
So she'll be 8 in August. I got her when she
Okay,
was 2. Because
other
I
one she's
generally like to get dogs that are between 1 year and 2 years old, I like to get um, adoption, from the rescues. And I like between 1 or 2 because you can kind of see what the personality is and how big they're going to be mostly.
Yeah.
And they're still young enough that you got some miles, as it were. Although it wasn't
Yeah.
the case with Ruth because she passed at like 3.5 years old. I got her at 1 years and she passed at 3.5.
Oh,
So you never know.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey,
It
can I do a
isn't the sweet. It's sweet. What, Papa Bear?
yeah? I'm say, can I do a quick difference between service animal, comfort,
Yeah,
emotional support
absolutely. I
animal?
think that's very informative. Please
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
and a lot of people don't get the difference. And so there's pets, which most people's animals are pets, and then there's emotional support animal, which is the first category. And to have an emotional support animal, basically you need to have some sort of usually like a mental health issue, like depression, PTSD, something where having the animal gives you emotional support. And what that gets you also then is if you live in an apartment complex that doesn't allow animals or pets, by having them, you need to get a letter from your counselor, your doc, saying yes, they have this condition and they need a emotional support animal, and then you can have the animal in that place, even though they're not generally allowed because it's not a pet, it's an emotional support animal. And Sammy falls into that category because she's not trained as a service dog would be. So she is here for my emotional support. And what means also that is when I had Ruth, she started off as an emotional support animal, so I trained her, but I didn't have to pay the monthly extra amount for having a pet. I didn't have to pay the deposit, all those things for having an ESA because they're not pets. Then there's therapy dogs, which are a whole different category, which is if I train Sammy to go out to like nursing homes or hospitals with me, and then she could like, you know, go up and let residents pet her, patients, pet her and hold her or whatever they would do. Therapy dogs are designed to be taken to an institution or someplace to allow the residents to interact with this animal who's been trained so that they're not going to jump up, they're not going to attack, they're not going to do all that stuff. And then the big category is service animal. Service animals, which can only be a dog or a miniature horse. I don't know why, but miniature horse falls into the category. But what that requires is someone has a disability. So in Ruth's case, I do have PTSD from some childhood abuse that I went through, not not family related childhood abuse. I always like to make that clear because I'm like, I don't want people thinking my family was like abusive. They weren't. It was from
Yeah.
outside the family. And I, so the PTSD, what we discovered along the way is that she could sense when I was dissociating or having a PTSD episode, and she would come around and she'd sit down right in front of me and look up at me like, "Hey, here I am." And I would pat my legs twice, and she'd be if I was having an issue, she'd jump up on my lap, and then I could hold her, and she would let me have that weight on my chest, and it would help. And then after about a minute or so, she'd be like, "Okay, I'm done. Let me off." And I'd be like, "Okay, thank you for letting me know." And she'd go, she was fine. And so that was my disability was the PTSD. Her task was to notify me when I was dissociating or having some PTSD related symptom so that I would know and be like, oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Could be for other people. The most obvious one is someone who's blind has a service animal that helps them, like crossing the street, or other people may have. I had a deaf friend who had a hearing dog who would, come up and let them know whenever someone knocked at the door or their phone went off. This is back before they had a lot of the other uh, adaptive devices. And so it's important with these distinctions because people will sit there and they'll get notification they'll get some sort of certification that the dog is an emotional support animal, and then they'll expect to be able to take them into a store or a restaurant,
Oh,
which
okay.
emotional support animals don't have those privileges. They have some, like Sammy, I had a friend who lived in an apartment that had no dogs, but I talked to the management. I said she's an emotional support animal. This is my son's mom. I'm going to visit her. She's
Mhm.
family. The dog comes with me, and they're like, yeah, we get it. Emotional support animal. We're all good. And but Ruth could go with me to the store. She'd go with me almost virtually every place I could go. Sammy, no, we tried it for a while. She's got too many. Most of the issues with like other dogs or certain people, she'll just react strongly, and most of them be like, "Row, row, 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 row." Not that was a yippee. She's just like does the whole big growl and bark, but she doesn't normally bark that much. So, which is why I picked her. Yes, and you picked
Love it.
me.
If
That's
you guys
right.
are coming into Meow and Me, Meow means make each one wanted. It's a featured pet show of all pets, whether dogs, cats, snakes, tarantulas, emus, horses, whatever it is that you love in your life. We're with Papa Bear Sings and his dog Sammy, and we are talking about the differences in emotional support animals versus service animals versus like how he got Sammy as a rescue pet 6 years ago and has had Sammy since. Um, it's hard to believe how fast time goes, and
I know.
I do want to ask this question. It's such an important part of pet ownership is responding well with your pet. And you said your dog has turned into mostly Sammy needs more of an emotional support human than Sammy X like you know how how do you work with that? Like how do you work with that? Are you do you just kind of roll with the punches with it?
Yeah, and I do that mostly as a joke, but it is somewhat like you know, she's gotten there's something about her that either attracts or agitates other dogs a lot of times. So we would go for walks just down my street and back or around the block. And within 6 months, two different neighbor dogs broke out of their yards just to run after Sammy and attack her.
Wow.
And, we're walking all of a sudden, it's like out of nowhere, all of a sudden this dog's coming along. It's like, oh my God, and so there's something about her. And every time I go for a walk, I know which of my neighbors have dogs, and a lot of them do, because as we walk by their house, they're at the big picture window, like just going nuts. And then we'll walk by, and then they'll quiet down. But a lot of it's just, I don't know. It's somewhat of a joke, but it is also part of just feels uh, right that I'm more here to support her, and that is helping me. Because had she been trainable as a service dog, it might be like the person who has a cast on their arm too long, and I might not have needed it, but I still
Mhm.
had it.
Yeah.
This way, I'm having to like she's there to assist me, but she's not my walker, she's not my wheelchair, she's maybe my cane. That might be as close as I can put it.
I love it. Well, okay. It's hard to believe our time's gone by so fast,
Oh,
Papa Bear.
is it good?
So with our last minute, what I want everybody to do in the comments is to hit Papa Bear Sings with a favorite. First off, click on his name and hit him with a favorite. If you haven't done that, do it now. And then the last part and our last question tonight for you, Papa Bear, is when do you stream? Can people catch you? What do you like to do on the app?
I'd say check my IG. I stream. It just kind of depends. In the last year or so, last year and a half, I've had COVID. I had some heart issues. I've had my mom's had some health issues, and so I keep running around. Thank you. Uh, I have to adjust all. I had to do a lot of adjusting just to try to stream at all. And so it really depends. On Wednesday nights, a lot of times you can find me some of the open mics that are playing, like Hawkeyes. Uh, Check my IG. That's usually the best way. I know I've got some stuff coming up this week that I just can't think about right now. Um, oh, and I got to answer somebody's question earlier. Does she sleep with me? Yes, she does usually. In fact, she will get up. if we're sitting here watching, if we're sitting here watching something, if I'm watching something and then she's like, realizes it's getting bedtime, she'll get up and look at me like, come on. And I'm like,
Yeah.
still. And then like one night she got really annoyed with me as far as I could tell, because then she walked my bedroom door is about 10 feet, 15 feet, just directly that way. And all of a sudden she like stops about halfway before she gets to the door, turns around, looks at me, turns around so her back is fully to me, sits down at that perfect sitting posture. She like very like a boxer, and just refused to look at me. Just sat there like, I'm not paying attention to you for about 10 minutes. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to bed. And then she jumps up in the bed. And if I don't get there soon enough, every 5-10 minutes I'm not there, she just kind of moves up towards the head of the bed. And I came in one night, it must have been like 1 o'clock in the morning. I finally get to bed and she's up and she's spread across all the pillows at the head of the bed.
What? She's wild. I love her.
Yeah. And then there's a video I have somewhere, I might have been posted on Insta, of my maple tree in the backyard and this white albino squirrels on the back side of it. And she goes out and she consensus it. So she runs out there and the squirrel comes around to this side of it. And Sammy's on the other side looking, and then she comes to this side. But now she's like looking around at a lower level. And that squirrel's just like 8 feet away from her on the side of the tree. And she's just like, I don't know where it is. Where'd it go?
Look at him.
And it was white on top of a dark gray tree. You're so cute.
Well, I hate to have to do this to you, but I have to.
You do.
I hope you guys all hit Papa Bear with a favorite. Love Sammy. Papa Bear loves to sing. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I deeply appreciate it, Papa Bear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I will let myself out of the box if I can.
If you can. Now, if you're just coming in Meow and me, our second special guest of the night is Misunderstood, and he also has a dog. So I'd like my second special guest to request the box. We're gonna skip over pets of the week this week, and we will have our pet of the week next week instead. So if you want your pet to be our pet of the week, make sure you send a picture of your pet into me on my Instagram and let me know your pet's name and your streamer name so you can be pet of the week. But let's do some welcoming in for Misunderstood, you guys. Hello, Misunderstood. How are you?
I am highly blessed. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, who do we have here with you right now?
This is Miss Bell. She is part pit and part mastiff.
Oh my, what a mix.
Yeah, she's gonna be a big girl.
How did you get Belle? Like, where did you get her?
So Belle is 8 weeks and 1 day old. A friend of mine actually hit me up one day last week and was like, hey, I've got this dog and my son just can't not handle her, and if I don't find somebody for her, I'm gonna have to take her to the pound. And I was like, well, let me see a picture. And she sent me a picture of 2 dogs actually. And so there was this one and there was another one. And honestly, like I slid the phone over to my girlfriend and I said, here, which one do you want? And she picked Belle. And I went and got Belle for her thinking that maybe, it would work out in my favor. But like, listen, she picked her dog food bowl up today with dog food in it, carried it over to her mama, set it down at her feet and sat there and ate it. So I would love to tell you guys that like she is my baby, but she's a mama's baby.
She is. She loves you. She loves you.
She does. She sleeps with us. And if she's not with her mama, she's with me.
Fair enough. So did you have a dog before, or is this your first ever dog? Misunderstood.
I've had a few dogs before.
He used to have one.
We've had a few. I've had a few other pets as well.
I like that. I like that. And I mean, so why did you feel like you needed a new pet in your life? Like, why did you feel you wanted to get this pet right now at this time with you?
Because we don't have a dog. My son's always wanted a dog from a little pup to raise up, and honestly, because my girlfriend was like, "Ooh, I like that one."
Ah, so it's a kind of under pressure, written it down on me.
It was. Listen, my papa was a genius, and he had a remedy for everything. And if it's a happy couple, then it's a pretty happy house, and I like a happy house.
Better. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. It
I
starts
did not
there.
think I
Yeah.
was going to get through this show without hearing about my papa and him being a genius. Did you? Come on, people.
Um, well, what have you learned about yourself by being a dog owner?
Patience. Between being a dog owner and a dad, um, a lot of patience. Because like her and my son, yeah, we took them all to the we. It was so funny. So there's a big nature park here by me, and we took them all to the nature park the other day and went for a big old walk. And we're walking through there, and my son and my grandson is like, "My legs are tired. My legs are tired." Belle is just like, I wish I could show y'all the picture because she was holding her own leash right here in her mouth, walking herself up. I'm like, y'all, she's only like 2 years old in human years. And I was like, y'all can't be tired yet. And about the time I said that, she finds a shade tree. And as she's walking with this leash in her mouth, walking herself, she just flopped down right there and was like, I'm done. So we had to sit down and take a break.
You're right. Like I love this. Now, okay, but misunderstood. Why did you choose the name Belle?
Why did I?
Did she come with that name, or did the girlfriend pick the name, or did the son pick the name? Where did Belle come
Listen,
from?
when I get my girlfriend picked the name.
Okay, fair. All right.
She
So
said
she
she's
was.
a little Southern belle. So
I like that.
She's a princess.
She's a princess, like in the Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Got it.
See,
Got it.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all can see. Like she is so beautiful. Like she's gray, but she's like a brindle underneath. Like her, she is just adorable.
It is a beauty. Like, okay, so she sleeps with you and her. Does she sleep in the middle or does she sleep on top of you? Like what's happening here?
So Miss Kitty, I'm going to decline to answer that question because this is a top bad show, and I do not want to get you in trouble, and I don't want to hear a bunch of beep 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 beep, and I don't want to be banned from this app, so I will just
I'm
decline
dead.
to go about that.
I'm dead. I refuse to incriminate myself, is what he said. I neither
But
can
listen.
confirm nor deny. Rob, where are you at? Like that's Rob's favorite saying as well. You two need to get together.
Hashtag SDG. Oh,
Dead.
man.
Do you okay? So Belle is your only dog in the household. You don't have any other pets inside the house.
I have Hey, stop. I have a couple of snakes.
A couple of snakes. You
Yeah.
have snakes, like real snakes, not real snakes, like big
Pythons.
python. Wow.
Yeah.
I almost feel like they should have seen the pythons. Holy smokes. I mean, obviously,
Maybe next time.
No more
Next
the
time,
dog.
next time we'll show Fatty.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
we
love to
also
see
have
that.
a tarantula too.
You have a tarantula. Do you crawl around with it? Does it crawl around with you?
I
Like,
mean,
or
listen, that thing stays behind the glass door, and I stay away.
Only because
how
he's
big
scared.
is it?
I said we have a tarantula, but really we don't because, like I said, it stays behind the glass, and I stay away from there.
Yeah, they're big, right? They can be like, depending on what kind you have. We've had
Miss
people with
Kitty,
tarantulas on before,
Miss
so I
Kitty,
know a little bit
her
about them.
name is called Fatty because her butt is as big as my hand.
But she's got the doggy dog.
Sorry.
No, that's fair. That's what it is. What it is. What's the strangest thing you think so far about having Belle in the house?
About having Bill in the house.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know that it's really strange because I'm used to pets being in the house,
fair enough.
but like
She's not.
she is a as y'all can look. I mean, look at her right now. She's
She
like,
looks to
please
like,
let me over to my mom.
right? She just wants to love, be loved on. Yeah.
Um, but like the funniest thing about her, I think, is the way she picks her food bow up, and like she'll bring it to us. She is like I said, she's 8 weeks old, 8 weeks in a day, and she goes to the door already when she's got a potty. She stays inside of a little fence we got right out here, unless me and my son are out in the yard or something. Um,
Trying to sneak in a kiss. Do you see that? Be careful. You're about ready to get a French kiss. Oh, I meant. Belle's taking over. Watch out. But does she do anything naughty, or has she done anything like kind of like out of the ordinary, or that you hadn't expected? That little quips or things like that. Does she eat your shoes?
no,
Anything like
she's
that?
not. Like, we she's got a toy, to play with, and as far as like we leave our shoe. I hate to see it. We leave our shoes laying around the house, but we leave our shoes laying around. We leave our shoes running around the house sometimes, and she don't bother them. The blankets and stuff. Like she's got her own little blanket right here at the foot of us. Because my girlfriend she streams too, so we sit here and like she'll sit down there on her blanket, and she usually don't mess with nothing. Now it was funny today because my son, no, that was this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This morning before he was going to school, she was trying to get up on the couch with him. And like I have a recliner on both ends of my couch. And she was like up at the front of the recliner. And I was like, he was like, Dad, I want to raise this up. And I'm like, well, just raise it up. She'll back up. No. She said, whoop, and come up with the cushion and all up into his back. And he was like, whoa. So that was pretty fun.
And like one way elevator up. I like.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah. And like she's,
um.
I've got a pretty high, I've got a pretty high bed, and like she will straight jump out of it, and it comes up probably 3 foot or better off the ground.
Oh
And
yeah.
if we're in here every morning, we leave her in bed, and she's ready to get out of bed. She's coming out of that bed. She is not scared.
I was trying to
I
keep
love this.
She's not having it.
If you guys, okay, welcome into Meow and Me. If you're just coming in, this is a featured pet show here on the platform. I'm here with Misunderstood and his dog Belle. If you're just coming in, make sure you click on Misunderstood's name right now. Hit them with a favorite. You do that by clicking on their name, and it opens up the thing and it says favorite. So that's what you need to do at this moment. Hit favorite on them. Also on his beautiful dog Belle. Too. Um, okay, so just a few more questions. Okay, I just have a few more. Um, what have you learned about like pets though from being a dog owner? Like what have you learned about?
Like they are exactly like kids. Every single pet is different. Um, they are so much like kids. It's not funny.
Yeah, they really are.
It like it,
A lot
it's
of time up.
that's the biggest thing I've learned.
Yeah, they'll teach you a lot, won't they?
Well, not only
Um,
that, like every pet is different too. Like um, you could have two brother and sister dogs, and like they're going to be two totally different dogs
yeah.
with totally different the personalities. And she's got a personality. Lordy mercy, she's got. There's a lot of personalities running through his house, and listen, I just try to cope with it and go along. And I
You
just go,
know, like I'm just trying to get by with this dog and this girlfriend and this kid of mine. Cats are,
without
yeah.
listen, if I can make it through each day without having a black eye, and I wake up the next morning and I got the same people, I'm doing good.
He, what is your favorite thing to do with Belle?
Um, Probably walking her on her leash because like we just all of a sudden put a leash on her for the very first time, and I got her to walk on it like a lot. So walking her on her leash is probably one of the funner things to do.
Yeah, that's a big deal too.
She's young,
Okay.
so and like most of my animals have never been leash trained, so it's different, but I like it because like I know I can take her out into public and stuff.
Right, because then you can, yeah, exactly. You can take her into the store if you even want to take her in a Petco or whatever. There you have her right there with you for sure. Um, that's what's up. Um, well, okay, so our next, like our last bit of time together, yeah, I want to ask you a little bit more about like when do you stream and if you've got an Instagram and where people can find you streaming, what can they expect from you? Give me the lowdown.
I'm glad you're sitting here right now. So I stream on a daily basis. Sometimes, sometimes I'm at work. Sometimes I'm sitting right here. Sometimes we're out on the front porch. Um, so I just started. I moved into I bought a new house last year. Me and my son lived here. I met Kimbo down in the comments. Y'all make sure y'all hit her with a fave. And I just kind of got this app to meet new people and stuff. I don't go out and do things. My son is he has Asperger's. So he don't like going out in public and stuff. So I got this app to meet people. Um, and I ran across I'm gonna watch myself. Listen, I am so proud of myself, and I about said the F bomb. What in the Kentucky? I've made it all the way through this show, and I'm not about to do it now. So, anyways, met this dude named Stoner Bob on here, man, and like I seen the passion in his eyes. Him wanting to go for top badge, and I was like, this dude's pretty cool, and he was real. And that's the kind of people I can get behind is somebody that is the same person day in and day out. So him and I kind of just clicked. And I was like, dang, I want to start this. I want to join this SPG gang you got. And it's blown up from there. He has like the support he has gotten has been amazing. I don't like doing random battles, but I do a lot of random battles just to try to get his name and our SBG name out there. It's like he will tell you guys, like it's not all about him, but for me it is because like I want to see him like I don't care what in the Kentucky it takes. I'm going to help him get the top badge.
So does he have a pet? No.
He's got many pets, girl. But listen, hey, listen, you have to get him up here one time real quick. He's got. My papa was a genius, and he had a remedy for everything. But let me tell you, Stoner Bob's got some pets. Y'all need to check him out. Please make sure. Hashtag SBG for life. That's it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for this. I wish you could have seen my previous 2 shows. You would have been like, this dude is dope. Like, I'm shocked. What the?
Yeah, that part.
FC, you know what? We love our pets here. When can people, that was a beautiful, like really, truly beautiful tribute. That is what streaming is about. It's about finding your set of people, your group of people, coordinating, connecting, networking with other people, and having a good time, having a laugh and having a good time. And I think that's an important thing, what you just said. And, it's a big part of why we all come here and do what we do all the time.
It is. Like I like to help build people up. Like I've prayed for many of people on this app. I've got some really good friends that are in not so bad health. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a shout out, if you don't mind, for one of them. Her name is KT Tubes. She is an amazing young woman, 32 years old. She is battling CF. She was on a double lung transplant. She got this disease that was incurable. So anyone on here that prays, like I beg you from everything in me, please pray for that girl. But I just like helping people out. I like being there for people. I like making people laugh a lot. I'm goofy as fuck. I'm a goofy Kentuckian that has a really bad mouth, but I try.
I'm here for it. Well, okay, so we have one thing left to do tonight before we finish this featured show hour up. I want y'all, if you're in the comments and you've enjoyed meeting Belle, you've enjoyed meeting Misunderstood, you know what to do. You click on his name, you hit him with a favorite. Also, go visit. I always try to promote a fave and a view. So, go click and favorite. Go see Belle. I mean, she's adorable. Thank you for being on the show, Misunderstood.
Thank you for having me. And I don't know if a lot of people know or not, but I did fill in for a really good friend of mine. And so thank you. She's probably not here right now because I know she's taking care of some personal things, but like a big shout out to her too, because I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So thank you, Kitty, and thank you all. Thank you all for the comments. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you. So I'm gonna. All right, see you later. I don't know how to get people, but next is Nashi, my special pet correspondent. Nashi in the news. That here she is. He is my guest to all great people. Nashi.
Hi, Kitty Meow. How are you?
Meow.
Meow.
Nashi, what do you got for all of us? What pets in the news do you bring forth?
So here's what had happened, right? Was I had this whole thing because tomorrow is National, Pet Adoption Day, and I wanted to go and I wanted to do this whole thing with adopting a pet. Well, one thing that Nashi should know since she's done this story is anything that I plan on doing never goes as planned. And here's what happened. I'm going to tell you guys a little boring story, but I really don't care. You just got to sit through it. Okay. All right. Here's what we got.
That's good.
Nashi took a trip this weekend down to Altoona, Pennsylvania to go see OG Lucky. If y'all don't know who she is, go find out. Okay, and while there, we were going to go play with some fish on some hooks, but that didn't work out because the rain got us. So we took derailed turns and ended up at an antique shop. And I sort of kind of put a little slideshow together of what we found at this antique shop. It was a literal little hidden gem. And what it is we found a kitty corner. This place is literally called is a antique depot and flea market. We walked in, and all you saw on the counter was pictures of cats. What happened was last year, the owner, Michelle, was feeding stray animals, and the stray cat finally came up one day and brought up 2 of her kittens. So Michelle called in all of her employees, and they went out looking in the woods for all of the cats. She brought the cats into the building. She was going to rehome them, and she couldn't break up the mother and the kittens. So through somebody who very generously donated a lot of money, they built an enclosure for the cats in the antique shop. So I'm just going to do a quick little slideshow here. Oh, Kitty Gab, gonna make me bigger.
Oh, they're big. I got you bigger.
So they've got 5 cats there, including the mother. They have not separated any of them. They have an enclosure. They've got their cat litter, their food. They've got couches. They've got boxes to play in. They've got an exercise wheel that they all get on. And I thought it was just a cute little hidden gem, something that I did not expect to find. And as soon as we walked in, I said, they've got a kitty corner, so I got to go do this thing for Kitty Show.
I think that's so beautiful. That's so sweet.
It is. I did do my own recordings, but you guys, me and technology is not great in the field. I'm like a great personality, but I'm not great with technology. So the camera shots that I took weren't so great. But I really love this story because it kind of goes with the National Pet Adoption Day. You know, they just took them in. She was totally set to just rehome them and let them be. And she ended up just keeping the whole family. And I thought, what better way to have than an on-scene thing that I actually got to talk to the owner about and to come on here and share with you. Normally it's just videos, and it was actually something really great to just experience in person. Anytime you're in Pennsylvania, down near Duncansville, go check it out. You know, if you guys want to know more information, they do have a social media page. Let me know, and I will shoot you over that information.
I love it. Make sure you click on Nashi right here, just like Papa Bear Sings and Misunderstood. Click on Nashi. Hit her with a favorite. She also is a featured show host here on the app on Sundays. She has a travel show. If you have a travel experience and you want to share your travel experience, please DM Nashi on Instagram and get connected with her to be on her featured show. This brings us to the end of the hour. We're done being featured now. And strangely, I'm off to be a special guest on somebody else's featured show. DJ Yaboy has his featured show now, which I am a contestant on his featured show as well.